Hello, these are the two chicken coops that I have recently built. Start with the tour of this one. This is Lexan inside of lattice channel. To close and open the window in there, I'll get a better shot from the other side. But we have two nest boxes on this side. The whole back wall opens up for clean out. We have another nest box on this side. These boxes, I'll show you real quick, have these dish pans that are excellent for nest boxes and removable dividers. Down here is the chicken door, and here's the rope that controls that. Okay, here's a better shot of the front window that's all hardware clothed in. Now this bigger one is 6 feet by 4 feet, and I learned a few things when I built this one. Okay, so this is 6 feet by 4 feet, and it's pretty nice, but the window is on the same side as the chicken door, which was my first mistake that I made because the chicken run kind of blocks off the window. Another mistake that I made is it doesn't really have a dead side. I have to access every single side of this. And then let me open up the back and I can show you another mistake that I made. See, the chicken door is about even with ground level, and so I had to put this little threshold in there to keep all the bedding inside. And we got two roosting bars in here that just sit in those blocks and they can be removed. Here's what's nice. If I want to clean it out, I can open up the whole back wall and sweep all that bedding off of the linoleum and throw it right in the garden, actually. So that's the tour of the larger coop. Okay, so what I learned, the mistakes I made from building the other coop, I helped me build this one quite a bit better. So this chicken door is on the side from the window, that way the run doesn't block the window. Same deal over here, hardware cloth window and like Lexan. Slide it open and close, works pretty good. The control for the chicken door is on the same side where you would have to access to control the window, which is on the same side where you have to get the eggs. So the things that you need to control are all done on this one same side. This nest box I built inside of the coop, which made it a lot easier. You don't have to worry about sealing up the roof so much. Whereas these nest boxes, the big concern is, water coming down the wall and hitting this drip edge. And for this one, I actually made this metal roofing go through the wall into the inside of the chicken coop to prevent any leakage. This design works a lot better. All you have to worry about is that top drip rail. Two slide bolts to open up the two nest boxes in here. Also with the dish pans, removable divider. And this one's 4 feet by 4 feet. This roof overhangs a little bit larger. The overhang's a little bit bigger because the coop is slightly smaller. On the other coop, I don't have much of an overhang because it's so big that I didn't have that much roofing material. And of course, the entire back wall on this one opens up. And this wall is just one big door, and it works a little easier. And I framed it opposite. I put the framing on the inside of this door, whereas on the other coop the framing was on the outside. Now this chicken door is up off the ground, so I don't have to worry about any bedding falling out. Also, this ledge, all of the debris can fall right off the back. And then in the corners, there's actually, I don't know if you can see it down in there, but I left holes for all the stuff, all the junk in the tracks can fall right through, and you don't have to worry about that binding up your tracks. And likewise, two roosting bars that just set in there, and the chickens seem to love them. So I like the smaller coop better, just because everything is easier to access on it. It was a lot easier to build. I had to buy a lot less materials, and just a better overall design. And it's strong and it's predator proof. Nothing's getting in there. This chicken coop over here has about 28 2x4s in it altogether to frame out the nesting boxes, to frame out the structure, to frame out the door and the window and all that, and also some nailers. The smaller coop has only 13 2x4s altogether. And I used almost every single chunk of those 13 2x4s. So, I saved a lot on 2x4s. I was able to get all four walls and the floor and the nest box out of 3 sheets of plywood and still have plywood left over. I probably had enough plywood left over to build a nice chicken ramp, but I already had one, so I didn't have to worry about that. This one, 3 sheets of plywood did not get me any floor. The floor in this one's actually deck boards. Now I'd like to try to make an instructional video on this smaller one and maybe show you how to build this using only 13 2x4s and 3 sheets of plywood, miscellaneous hardware, and some roofing material. And of course the Lexan and the lattice channel. But anyway, I'm pretty proud of this design. It's very functional, works very good. I've been very happy with it. The chickens seem to be happy with it. And eventually at some point I will get a real chicken run, with actual 4x4s. And I'll make one large chicken yard and have one divisible section of a chicken run. But for the most part, we just let them free range. These guys don't get to free range yet because these guys are only 5 weeks old, I think. Let them get a little bigger, and then we'll let them walk around out in the yard. These are Americanas. We got 5 Americanas. And the guys that live over here, olive eggers, we got 9 of them. I'm not sure where they're at right now. Maybe they're in the weeds. They like the weeds. No, nobody's down there. Where the heck are these chickies? Anyway, 9 olive eggers, 5 Americanas. One of the olive eggers is kind of broody, so we'll probably just let her hatch out some Easter eggers if we as soon as they get old enough to start procreating. Anyway, there's the hen house that I'm most proud of. I'm proud of this one too. Did a good job building that one, but this is not as functional as this one. Not only is this one more functional, but it's a lot easier to build and a lot cheaper to build. If I was gonna do another one, it would be a replica of this smaller hen house. Of course, I would probably add provisions for just adding the run right onto the hen house and building it all together. But there it is. Thanks for watching.